Good morning, I'm well, thanks. How are you?
Your movie, The Lovely Bones, it comes out next weekend. That's got to be pretty exciting.
It is, yeah. It's been going for so long now. I mean, we started shooting about 2 years ago, so we were very ready for it to come out.
You must be really busy, because I Googled you and looked you up, and was looking at some interviews, some images and stuff, and it's like, there's images of you at the premiere for this movie, but it's like, there was like 900 premieres or press things. It's like you're always in a different dress.
It's been a bit of a whirlwind the last couple of months. We started in November for the London Gala, which was our world premiere. And since then, it's kind of been pretty busy. I got home for Christmas and New Year, which was wonderful. But yeah, we just arrived from Toronto. I'm in Miami now. It's all really hectic.
That's awesome. And a lot of people, a lot of the headlines on news that you read about you is that, newcomer and Peter Jackson discovered you. And I mean, you'd been doing stuff before this, but this is kind of your big mainstream debut in America, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess so. I've done quite a lot of local work at home, but
this is the first big one in America here. That's awesome. How does it compare? Like, how does doing a movie here in the States compare to doing something back in New Zealand?
Well, Peter Jackson is a New Zealand director, and he uses a lot of New Zealand crew. So, to be honest, it was a perfect introduction to doing something overseas because so much felt like home, and we had this whole team of us embarking to Philadelphia where Peter and Fran and Philippa, who made the film, hadn't shot overseas either. So it was kind of, for all of us, it was quite exciting.
That's cool. Is Peter Jackson, I'm sure he's a big deal in New Zealand too, but I mean, is he just like a normal director over there? I mean, because here it seems like if you get in a Peter Jackson movie, that's a really big deal. I mean, is he directing movies over there so everybody gets a shot to do a Peter Jackson movie, or is this still pretty exclusive?
Well, Peter's revered at home. I mean, we love him, and he's definitely one of our top filmmakers and top directors. But I think the thing about Pete that's great is he's very down to earth, and you would never guess to meet him that he does have this incredible acclaimed career and that he's made all these amazing films because he's just, I mean, he walks around without shoes on and he's relaxed and he makes films because he likes making films, not because he's interested in what goes with that. So, I mean, he is an absolute celebrity at home, really, but at the same time, he's very, very humble about it.
That's great. The Lovely Bones is the movie, and you play the sister of the girl that's killed in the film. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right.
And so tell us a little bit about your character, and then kind of explain the movie for people that don't know what it's all about.
Okay, so Lindsey Salmon is the central character, and she is murdered at the start of the story. And what the film is really about is her, in her afterlife, letting go of her family on Earth, and in turn, her family letting go of her. And I play her sister, so I am in the Earth part of the whole shoot. And yeah, so for me it's really a journey. I've watched my family disintegrate after her death, and I'm determined to pull it back together.
Okay. It seems like just such a heavy film. Like really depressing.
I mean, it starts with a death. That's where it all begins. So, to be honest, it doesn't really get any lower than that. Like, from there, it's a journey to being able to accept and understand each other. And really, at the end, it's more of an inspiring film than a depressing film, I found, definitely.
Okay, so as sad as it seems, people aren't going to walk out of there just completely devastated and crushed.
No, hopefully exactly the opposite.
Is it hard to take a work like this that's from a book? I mean, had you read the book before you did the movie?
Yeah, I read the book when I was 13. I was a huge fan of the novel and of Alice Sebold, the author.
Do you think it's harder to adapt a movie and work with a movie that's from something that people know like that than it is to just do something original, or is it not much different?
Well, I don't think it's harder. I think it's great to have the bones and this wonderful idea that has been made in a novel. I think it's hard to please everybody, definitely, and everyone has their own imagination and their own ideas that they've brought to the story when there's not that visual component. But at the same time, I think when you go to see a film that's been adapted, you can't take that with you. You go to see it with an open mind and to see the impression that the filmmakers had from the story that you may love. Excellent. And, I mean, as an avid fan of the book myself, I feel like we've really portrayed the heart of the story and we've got the heart of the characters, and essentially it is the same Lovely Bones, but it's just taken from a different perspective. It's taken from filmmakers, and it's a different media. You can't expect exactly the same thing.
What's up for you in the future, Rose? After you get done promoting Lovely Bones, after this moves on, what's next?
Well, I worked on a film in New Zealand called Predicament, which is something completely different. It's 1930s crime, comedy, just could not be further from Lovely Bones, which was great. It was a lot of fun.
That's
and
awesome.
That starred Jermaine Clement, who's from, I think...
Oh, I love Jermaine. I love the Flight of the Conchords.
Oh, glad to hear it.
Some of the saddest news I got was when they're not doing another season of that show this year.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I know. Is that? It seems odd that like all of a sudden, you know, I mean, obviously New Zealand's always been there, but like all of a sudden there seems to be this huge influx of like New Zealand entertainment coming to America.
I think Peter Jackson has made a huge impact on the world with what New Zealand has, and there's certainly been a lot more interest since The Lord of the Rings and since he started making his films in Wellington at home. It's brought a lot of attention to New Zealand and New Zealand creatives, which is great.
Yeah, definitely. It's very cool. Well, I'm very stoked to see the movie. The movie is The Lovely Bones. It opens next Friday. Rose McIver, thank you so much for joining us on the show this morning, and best of luck in your career.
Thank you so much.
The Big J Show. Weekday mornings from 6 till 10 on Billings' #1 hit music station, Hot 101.9.